name is Hannah Peterson. I just finished my internship at Bakersfield High School, home with the drillers. My husband got an internship in Bakersfield, and I had to find one too. It was my last semester, so I had to definitely get one. I called many places here and found out that in order to work at a high school, you need to go through the district office. I set up an MOA contract with BYUI and Kern High School District. So now all future interns need to do is contact the school district itself. They don't need to contact Bakersfield High School. It took 2 months of constant contact between me, a person at their school district, and a lady in our internship office in order to get the paperwork all finished. So, you guys who want to come here, you're welcome for helping you avoid that step. I was stressed out during this time because the school district would not let me finish the paperwork until after I passed the background check, which means that I needed to appear in California to get my fingerprints rolled. I had to wait until I moved here before I knew if I had an internship or not. When I moved here in December, I went into the district office to make sure that all my paperwork was completed. I needed to prove that I had a TB test within the last 2 years, and thankfully I had that paperwork. If you do not have it, though, they will require you to get it done, and they'll give you a list of places to go. I went to another building after that to get my fingerprints rolled, took the paperwork back to the district office, and waited. The district's winter break was beginning at this point, so all employees were on break, too, for about 2 weeks. I had to wait until the second week in January to hear back from them. But that's okay because here at BYUI, you can start an internship at any point in the semester. I know they say within the first 2 weeks, but if you contact your internship coordinator and the internship office on campus, they can work with you and help you through it. I could not register for the internship class until I actually began my internship because at the district office, they were taking a while to let BYUI know that I was approved, and there was a complication with my paperwork, but everything worked out in the end. I would honestly not say that these were responsibilities so much as opportunities. Mr. Ogilvy, my mentor here at Bakersfield High School, he really tried to make my internship worthwhile. He asked me what I wanted it to be like and helped me make it happen. I cannot stress that enough. If you want to do something, ask for it. Yes, there are everyday things of entering data, creating call slips, or running processes in Excel, but that is a small part of being a high school counselor. I loved everything at this internship. I was able to go on home visits, attend field trips, and much more. When I arrived at the school, a counselor was sick and passed away. 2 other counselors were gone for surgery, and Mr. Ogilvy, my mentor, was overwhelmed. He was called to jury duty my last week, and his father-in-law passed away. He really had a rough semester. I helped him by meeting with every single freshman student without him, alone, so that he would be free to do everything else that he needed to do. It was a great experience for me, actually, and if the students had questions or problems in their lives, I would bring it to his attention. I wouldn't handle it myself. I volunteered to be a chaperone on field trips with students. It helped me build relationships with students, teachers, and other staff. And I got to see students transforming their lives. My favorite field trip was with the Wendell Davis Foundation. It's a foundation to help at-risk children stay out of or help them get out of gangs. And it was really special because one student in particular that I've met with over the course of the semester has used that foundation to get out of a gang. So it was very cool to see what it was all about. I also had my husband help me create a macro in Excel to help streamline the class planning process. Before, the counselors would have to record each semester grade for every single student by typing it into Excel line by line. Now, because I created this, all they have to do is press a button on the computer and it will do it for them. The hours are incredibly flexible here at Bakersfield High School. I told them when I would be there and when I wouldn't. They allowed anything. School starts at 7:30 and ends at 2:30, and I really couldn't come in before 8 because we were sharing a car. So I'd come in at 8 and I left every day at noon, and it worked out really well. When I would miss a day, I just let them know and they were completely fine with it. They said that they would work around my schedule. Here, I experienced so much. I really feel like a different person after this internship. I got to know some wonderful students who were trying to turn their lives around. Their experiences were so touching, and it breaks my heart the problems that they are facing daily. I've learned that gangs are real and very scary. These students were getting out of them, and it made me really appreciate my upbringing and the support that I have with my family. When I went on home visits and saw the poverty of some of our students, it really made me appreciate what I have. If you want a reality check, you should really go on home visits. It will change your life. It really makes you feel blessed. And also, because of the macro that I built, I learned how to code in VBA. I didn't know it before this job, and it's definitely not required for this internship. They don't even know how to use it or what it means. But I did it because I wanted to make a positive impact, and this was my opportunity to help them. So I learned a new skill to help them out. While we were meeting with a student who lost her cousin and friend, I thought of the family stress and theories class. I thought of the double ABCX model and how she's being overloaded with crisis. She said that she has lost someone important to her every year since middle school, and that it keeps getting harder and harder for her to cope with. At BYUI, I have learned some communication techniques. A key part of communication is active listening. I tried to use active listening with parents and students to show that I was hearing what they were saying and will actually help them. Trust me, you'll need it in any counseling job. It not only shows that you're listening, but it helps you retain information from the meetings that you've had. I know we hear to become a lifelong learner all the time at BYUI, but this is very important. Counselors need to keep up on current information that is happening around the world, and being a lifelong learner helps with that. They're required to know the law, and there's tons of education laws. And that brings me to another point. Research methods was a great class, and it helped me know how to find good research. I've used that used the skills from it a couple times during my internship, and it was very useful. The MOA is already complete for you, so all you need to do is call the Kern County School District, and they will guide you through the process. They will send you an email with a Word document to put where you want to work. You will need to fill it out and put BHS as your first choice of location. BHS is a really good school. It is the most diverse around here, and I really liked my internship there because my internship coordinator was very helpful. You can choose a different school, but BHS is definitely my favorite. They will classify you as a tutor at the high school, and you will need to provide all W-4 information, even though this is not a paid internship. You will need to complete online training. It took me about 3 hours. If you do not have access to a computer, they have one for your use in the district office. You will also pay for a background check. It cost me around $49 plus $12 ruling fee from the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office. At the district office, they will give you a list of places you can choose for fingerprint rolling, but they strongly encourage you to use the superintendent office. It's automated, so you will not have black ink on your fingers. You will need proof of a negative TB test done within the last 2 years. If you have not had those tests done, they will give you a list of places to go to get a TB test done. But you'll always want to check with your insurance to see if it's covered. They will send all your paperwork in an email. Do not print double-sided. I made that mistake, and I went to turn in the paperwork, and the lady at the front desk was not very happy. I had to have her make new copies, and she was not very happy about that. So make sure you only print single-sided. This is a list of what you will be doing as a new intern in order to get the internship position. But you'll get all this information and more from the district office. This is just the paperwork that you'll need to fill out, and all of this will be sent to you in an email, so don't feel overwhelmed. When the paperwork is all done, you will wait for a phone call from the district office telling you to contact your job site, which means you need to call BHS and ask to be transferred to the head counselor's office. Set up an appointment to come meet with him. This is where you will need to go to BHS and introduce yourself to the head counselor, which is Mr. Ogilvy currently. You will want to park in the lot across the street from this building. When I worked there, they said you do not need a parking pass. Just double check with the head counselor or office staff to make sure. This is the building where I spent the majority of my time. You can walk through the doors right underneath the arrow. To the right of the arrow is a window for attendance, and you can get to this through California Avenue, and this street is called G Street. It's a public street, but it's closed off during school time. You are not cleared to start working until the district office calls to tell you that, but you will need to meet with the head counselor before you get that phone call. This is a separate phone call than the one I was talking about earlier. There is a lot of history at this school and a lot of diversity. It is really a great place to work and a great place to learn. I really loved my time here. If you are willing to work hard, do a small amount of data entry, and meet with students every single day, then this is the place for you. Mr. Ogilvy made a huge effort for me to experience everything that high school counselors experience at an inner city school. If you want to do anything, just tell him and he will make it happen. I was able to attend a grief group, went on home visits, and went on several field trips and so much more. I recommend this internship to everyone. If you're not from around here, it's hard to know where a safe place to live is. I know we struggled finding somewhere. I would suggest to stay away from Union Street and anywhere east of the 99. There are some good apartments on California Avenue, but I did live in Oildale. My apartment complex was fenced in with a security guard, and it allowed month-to-month contracts, which is important because your internships aren't that long at BYU, Idaho. Just something to consider.